I interrupted. I was talking about self-hatred in the African community. Let's go back to the article. Blacks were taught throughout their lives to be servants to white race. It happened during that was something that was conditioned to us during slavery, to serve white people, to work under the standards of white people. Let's go back to the article. So it will be easy to sell out their own. That brings us to rule number 5. Use religion to blind their sense of awareness. Use religion to gain their confidence. Basically using, this white Jesus against us. Using this man-made religion against us. And let's touch upon Christianity. When we were in slavery, and as soon as we got off the boats in West Virginia, the slave masters had pastors or missionary people there that they hired that belonged to different plantations, and they had a Bible, and they pretty much forced our ancestors into the Western version of Christianity. And what they would do is they would take out certain scriptures. Like one of the scriptures, for example, would be. Hold on for a second. Okay, sorry about that. So basically, let me just recap. So when we got off the slave ship, the slave masters had pastors or missionary people there with Bibles, and they'll use certain scriptures against us. Like, for example, one of the scriptures would be obey your master. So they would use that scripture and be like, well, you must obey your masters because it says it in this Bible. And we as slaves, we was getting taught that over and over and over. So that was in our brain to be like, well, we must obey our masters because that's what the Holy Bible said we have to do. All right, so let's go back to the article. Black people are religiously immature. Whenever we endure their God, which is God that they created, their highest pinnacle, the Lord and Savior, it opens up an opportunity to exploitation. They cannot defend clearly under the influence of religion and have a natural inclination to care about other people than themselves. Black people must understand that in order to logically discuss an issue and come up with productive solutions, you must be clear and vigilant mind. You cannot unite people under the banner of religion. Religion is considered a personal belief and rather useless when it comes to organizing as a people. That's rule number 5. Rule number 6. A wolf in sheep's clothing. Always, no matter what they say or do, keep your dignity in the presence of black people. Never forget that you belong to the race that rules. Basically, what that means is, never show your hand to Africans. White people never show their hand to Africans. Never let us African know that they're white supremacists, that they're racist. They always show this superior statue. That's what I get out of it. Let's go back to the article. Black people must understand that in order, I already read that part. Okay, never forget that you belong to the race that rules, but never profess it, as it is the mark of political immature white person. This statement also falls under rule number 2 and 3. Black people must be aware of this move. They appear as a humanization or a liberal. They know that most of you look to them as leaders. Then, just like the NAACP, they will use race baiting tactics to control and capitalize on your organization. Try asking them why are you here? Then will play dumb as if they were not part of white supremacy. They will even say that they are just oppressed as you are, which is a lie. Basically what that means is, what I got of that is, whites to come to the rallies, whites to come to our protests and say, well, you hate the police, we hate the police too. Oh, I feel your pain, brother. You know what I mean? They say stuff like that, but really they just there for the entertainment, to be in our business. They're not there to endure the same pain that we've been through. So let's go back to the article. Don't believe it. It is a first. It's a farce. Understand the social military agenda that is set against you. Rule number 7: keep them out of your circle, but enter theirs. Basically, be nosy in our business. Keep on coming around us. Keep on bothering us. Never invite black people into your home unless absolutely necessary. Always try to gain entry into their living quarters to assertion if they can be trusted. Many black people I've known and seen have lost their jobs, arrested for a crime they did not commit, all because they thought they invited a white friend. None of them was invited to their white friends' homes. You must know, if you have a friend or an agent, if you have a so-called white friend or lover, and he or she has never invited you to their home, but has yet stepped into your home every chance they get, then this is a clear sign should be your answer. All right, this is my favorite rule, which is something that white people always do. It's rule number 8: play the victim if need to be. DVS. If you can always, during a verbal altercation, try to provoke an emotional reaction or use word trickery to confess them. If you are successful, this will cause the masses to lose faith in them. I came across another Hub page article that explains the strategy called the DVS, Double Victim Strategy. This strategy is very potent. If done well, it could trigger our emotions and cause rage toward the pursuer. While we confront them angrily, the victimizer plays as he or she was insulted. You can read the article here, and I will post the article on my page and also on the Melanoid Empowerment page also. The double victim strategy, don't fall for it, and it gets better understanding of this tactic. Basically, what I get out of that paragraph is why people are quick to play the victim role. Basically, using your First Amendment of freedom of speech against you, and then play this insulting role so they can pretty much, you know, act like a baby. Or he insulted me. He insulted me. I didn't do nothing to him. Just acting like they scared all of a sudden. But really, they the one started the nonsense and the problems first. So let's go to number 9, which is a very good rule. It's called divide and conquer. Always try to keep black people fighting with each other. Black on black crime, economic castration, or anything that has to do with us beefing with each other or fighting against each other or arguing with each other. Let's go to the article. Once they start, it is difficult for them to stop. This is the most important strategy. They have a most unique fondness for destroying one another that supersedes all other interests once they begin. This tactic is very popular and historically known causes chaos in our organizations. Infiltration tactics such as the COINTELPRO and other CIA FBI agendas by sending agents to destroy our unit to the point that we can't even trust each other. Many of our great leaders and great civilizations has fallen due to this tactic. MLK, Malcolm X, Marcus Garvey, Black Panther Party, the fall of ancient Kemet. We as black people must find a way to put aside our petty differences. We all have a greater enemy to face. That greater enemy that we have to face is not one another. Yeah, some people was raised in North Oakland, West Oakland, whatever, East Oakland, whatever. That is not your enemy. The greater enemy that this article is talking about, that I just read to you, is talking about white supremacy. And once we as a group, African people, melanated people, understand that, and we study white supremacy, we'll understand that that's our enemy. But we have to unite and study white supremacy right now to get rid of the simple mind of, oh, he's from this part of Oakland or this part of Richmond or this part of Richmond. Once we get rid of that part of our brain and actually study the real enemy, which is white supremacy, then we can strategize and defeat white supremacy. I understand it takes baby steps. You must crawl before you walk. I understand that. And immaturity, maturity takes time. I understand that. But we have to get that out of our mind, get it out of our mind that another person from another hood or set or block is not our enemy. We have a greater enemy, a greater devil that we have to deal with. All right, let's go to Rule number 10, send contributions as bait to their leaders. Basically, I'm sorry to say this, a lot of people saying that the Black Lives Matter movement is funded by a well-known white supremacist, which is George Soros. White people love donating money to black people. Not in a form of being nice, but it's a rule that they go by. Um, it's just a way to say this. Or I donated money to Black Lives Matter, and I'm just gonna sit here and just see what I'm just gonna just donate, and I'm gonna cause ruckus. Why I'm gonna cause ruckus? Because I funded this, and I have a bigger agenda to push. In order for me to push this bigger agenda, let me throw some money at this organization. Tell the people under me that run this organization what to do to cause chaos, so I can get the bigger issue out of it. It's called an investment. A tragic investment, of course. A terrorist investment, of course. So let's go back to the article. If you are able to provide some material for black organizations, this will triple the odds. Bigger agenda they have for whites in general. You will be able to use them like chess pieces on a board, even against each other, to fulfill your agenda. Just like I said earlier, I'm gonna give you some money, but my agenda is to cause chaos and terror amongst black people. Let's go back to the article. Personally, I always follow the money wherever I attend or support a black organization. Always keep these questions in mind as you research. Who is secretly funding these programs for black Africans globally? Who are the real leaders behind these organizations? Why are these black organizations have not done anything to assist the productivity and safeness for black people, but unnecessarily protesting consistently? You will be surprised that most of these popular black organizations and fundraising aid to black Africans around the world are mostly by white, black, biracial puppets, and Jewish owners. So that's pretty much it. I'm going to upload this 3-page article on the Melanoid Empowerment page. I'm also going to upload it on my personal Facebook page. Like I said, I'm in the process of being conscious, so I don't know everything. I know I might stuttered a little bit, but I'm still learning. I'm still in the process of being very conscious. I'm learning every day. This is all I want to know. Knowledge is power. I want to study white supremacy. That's like my number one issue. I'm not really big on history, but my goal is to study the enemy, their moves, and then teach other people. So if something happens, we already be up on it. We have to study our enemy. So I want to upload this video to these pages. If you need me to actually I'll print this out for you. I wouldn't mind printing it out and sending it to you. I will email it to you. I will do whatever it takes to educate my people, which is the African community.